Om Asmatgurubhyo Namaha. Om
Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhyaha. Om Namah Paramarishibhyo Namah Paramarishibhyaha. Om Purnamidam Purnamadaha Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Ishavasya Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bhunjithaha Magridha Kasya Siddhanam. Om Kasyapanvaya Sanjatam Narayana Padashritam Srimannarayanam Vande Yatishvara Shriyajusham Krishnam Kamalapatraksham Punyashravana Kirtanam Vasudevam Jagadyonim Naumi Narayanam Harim Krishnaya Yadavendraya Jnanamudraya Yogine Nathaya Rukminishaya Namo Vedanta Vedyine Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Jai Shri Manara.
Jai Shri Manarayana. We'll start reviewing chapter 18, sloka
23 and
23. Okay. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Chapter 18, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, sloka 23. Niyatam Sangarahitam Aragadveshatah Krutam Aphala Prepsuna Karma Yattat Satvika Muchyate. Jai Shri Manarana. Chapter 18, sloka 23 summary. Lord Krishna said, work which is performed as duty by one who does not desire for fruits, without attachment, without attraction and hatred, that work is said to be sattvic. Jai Shri Manarayana.
Jai Shri Manarayana. Any questions on this?
Good.
Okay. Sloka 24.
I can go ahead, sir.
Yeah, please.
Chapter 18, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, sloka 24. Yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena va punah kriyate bahulayasam tad rajasa mudahrutam.
Sure.
Jai Shri Manarayana, chapter 18, sloka 24 summary. Lord Krishna said, but work which is done by one who desires for fruits and by one who is thinking I am doer with great deal of exertion, that work is called Rajasik. Jai Shri Manarayana.
Okay. Any questions on this one? So the key here is a desire for fruits and attachment.
But we cannot be both the Sattvic and the Rajasik, right? I mean, yes, we want to be Sattvic, but again, at the same time, if you, I mean, looking for some results, then that will be a failure, right?
If we are motivated by the results,
Mm-hmm.
and if we have the desire for the results, desire for fruits, I mean, I want to do it because I am going to get
So do we want to start the recording?
we started recording.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, we started. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I mean, if we are focused on results, I want the results for me. These results are for me. I'm motivated by these results. That is the desire for fruits, right? I mean, if I do this, I'm going to get this, right? So then it is Rajasik. So if I do it as my duty, I need to do this. I mean, it's great if I get the positive results, but it's not the reason why I'm doing it, right? So that is Sattvic.
Yeah.
It is difficult. I mean, initially, people will start doing only for the fruits, right? Like for kids, you want them to do something, you have to say that, oh, you're going to get this chocolate or this gift or something like that. So once they get used to, I mean, so initially they will be motivated by that. Now, once they start doing it, it becomes, they understand that it is their duty to do, and they no longer look for that, chocolate or gift or something like that to get every time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just taking one example.
Right.
But typically, we are always looking for the result. Oh, I want this result. That's why I do this one, right? But that is, and we get attached to it, and we look for the result. And when the result comes, what do? We compare it with what we wanted originally, right? And then we say, oh, it is meeting my expectations or not. If it is not meeting, then we are sad. Or during the that execution, while working itself, we keep thinking, am I going to get the result or not? Am I going to get the result or not? And then when the result comes, then we will become sad or extremely happy because that's the result what we wanted. And then we think that the result was because of my work. So we get attached to that result, linking it to our work. My work produced this result. This result belongs to me. So that becomes Rajasik. So I am the doer, and this work, this is my work, and I did something great, that great deal of exertion, right? I worked so hard. I'm, my hard work produced the result. Typically, that is what we always think, right? When, of course, we put the effort. I mean, we're not saying that we didn't put the effort, but linking the result to our hard work is going to lead us to Rajasik. The reason is the result is not just because of our hard work. We are just one part of it.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, that hard work was also put in because somebody was helping us in behind, like pushing us from behind.
Yeah.
Like if that person was not helping, then that hard work would not have been put. So then how can we say that this is my hard work? So we cannot even claim that that hard work was mine.
Yeah.
Completely. Because what if we were not well, or something happened, some that causes us to lose our focus, right? So we wouldn't have been able to put in our hard work at all. So
Yeah.
in that case, we cannot say that my hard work alone produced the result. That hard work was mine. So then, one who realizes that is Satvik. So it is, one who does the work as a duty without expecting the fruits of those actions. Okay, and thinking that I am not the doer. Thinking of who is the real doer, who is the agent of the work, and who the result belongs to. Because that person is the one who produced the result for us.
Yeah.
So that person is Paramatma. So the result belongs to him, and I accept the result as his blessings. So it is his blessings that I am getting this result, not because I did the work, or this result, this work, hard work is totally because of me. This work is because of me, my own thinking, my own abilities produce the result. None of it, right? So we are just an instrument in his hands. We are doing it as his service. It is our duty to do, no matter what the result is. And if the result is, whatever is the result, I mean, the result is good, then say that, oh, God gave me. The result is bad, then don't associate it with God. Nothing like that. Whatever is the result is because of God's blessings only, and take it.
Yeah.
And with that, I think a lot of the sadness, depression, dejection, and all those things will go down. I mean, that is the root cause of a lot of problems, is that only. We expect the result. We work for the result, expecting it to be something, right? And when the result is not what we wanted, then we are sad.
Yeah.
Right? Or we are always thinking about it, the result. Then constantly we are worried whether I'm going to get the result or not. Right? I mean, this COVID situation, things are changing on a daily basis. If we are expecting some result, no fault of ours, that things won't happen, right?
Yeah.
So then the one who is Rajasik is going to, be more worried about the result. One who is Satvik will say, okay, it's God's blessings, whatever it is, this is what is supposed to be for me, and that's what I got.
Right. Okay.
Okay. These are all, corollaries of Karma Yoga. So, third chapter, fourth chapter, some part of it. I mean, wherever Karma Yoga was mentioned earlier, right? Same concept is presented with a different angle, in a different way, right? So now we know that Satvik, is directly corresponding to what Lord Krishna mentioned as Karma Yoga principles. Rajasik and Tamasic are not. So if we want to, if we say that, okay, I want to follow Karma Yoga, then we take all the Sattvic, there are so many Sattvic items he mentioned, right? We'll go through all that. So in all of it, if we pick up the Sattvic ones, then we will cover the Karma Yoga part.
Yeah.
Then we go back and read Karma Yoga, then it becomes much more clear for us.
Yeah.
Sloka 25.
Yeah, I can read it.
Sure. Please go ahead.
25 చేయలేదని last time, huh? We not do it.
Oh, we didn't do it? Okay.
We don't need to.
We'll start with the prayer. Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishne Namarasetravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Sriman Narayana. Sloka 25. Please chant. Anubandham kshayam himsam.
Anubandham kshayam himsam.
Anavekshya cha paurusham.
Anavekshya cha paurusham.
Mohadarabhyate karma.
Mohadarabhyate karma.
Yattat tamasamuchyate.
Tamasamuchyate.
Let's chant together. Anubandham
Anubandham kshayam himsam. Anavekshya cha paurusham.
Paurusham
Mohadarabhyate karma.
Yattat
Tamasamuchyate.
So in this sloka, Lord Krishna is mentioning what is tamasic work, right? So work that is tamasic. Now, it is how the work is done which makes it tamasic. And we saw that earlier also in the previous two slokas, sattvic work, rajasic work, and now tamasic work. It is not like, okay, if you're working in government office, it becomes sattvic. If you're working in a service organization, it becomes sattvic. If you're working in some other organization, it becomes rajasic. It is not like that. I mean, so that is what we need to remember, because any work can be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. How we do it is what is making it sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. So tamasic work, how it is done, right? So it is done, that karma, yat karma, so which karma or work, arabhyate, so it is started, mohat, this is the keyword here. So for tamasic, the work is done with delusion. So tamasic work is done with delusion, ignorance. What is the ignorance here? The ignorance is that we don't know who is actually doing the work, who is behind it. Like if we don't know that there is we are not the agent. If we don't know that I am not this body, right? See, if I associate myself as body, like I am body, then that is ignorance, delusion. If I know that I am Atma inside this body, and there is Paramatma supporting me throughout, for everything, when I'm doing the work, I am just an instrument in doing the work. So then we do not have the delusion. Anything else is delusion. Thinking that I am the doer, this is my work, that's all delusion. Then anavekshya. So anaveksha anubandham. So without regard to the consequences that naturally follow the work. So without really thinking what happens when we do the work, right? So that is just doing the work without really thinking through, right? So got it? So without thinking about consequences that naturally follow, when we do the work, there is pain, sorrow, suffering that follows it. Okay.
Mm.
So no work is without consequences, right?
Sir,
That's a
I
good
have
thing, Anande. Sorry, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Madhugara.
uh, the word anubandham, Telugu anubandham and Sanskrit anubandham are different, sir.
Anubandham is attachment in Telugu, right? Yeah, if that with that, I think it's different. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if Telugu Anubandham has different meanings.
Okay.
But the Anubandham here is consequence. No,
Okay.
that which is attached to it. I mean, I think it's related. So when we say Anubandham, you're saying that it is attached to it, but Anubandham is what is attached to that as a consequence of it. Right? Like when I do this work, I'm going to get a particular result. That result is attached to this work. So that way, that attachment, Anubandham meaning may be the same. Like while I am attached to this, I like this table. Okay. Between us, there is Anubandham. That is not the meaning here.
Okay.
Like I am attached to this table, I like this table, I'm attached to it. We are closely related. I mean, I'm using the word table, but it could be a person. So, so in that case, it is that attachment, that anubandham is different. This anubandham, this is a consequence. Like it is attached to the work that we are doing, but it is a consequence of that work. So
He's saying without thinking about, right? Then isn't that a good thing? When say we're not, I'm not thinking about materialistic monetary laws that work will cause. Without thinking or with
without without considering, thinking, analyzing, just like somebody who is just doing the work, right?
Go blind.
Yeah, going blindly, without really having knowledge of what is going to follow the work, right? I mean, somebody just say just going and doing a lot of chaos on the streets, right? I mean, if you ask that person, oh, this is a perfect example, right? So people, it's very related. Of course, I don't want to be controversial, but so on January 6th, all these people, like thousands of people, marched into Capitol Hill, right?
Oh, yeah.
What were they thinking?
What did they achieve?
I mean, it's a perfect example. They had not analyzed, they were not considering, thinking. They were even live streaming.
Yeah.
Okay. And so brazenly doing, somebody is doing the robbery or killing and then videotaping that while doing it. And what were they thinking? I mean, don't they know what's going to follow? So
Okay.
They didn't now they are repenting, like they say that, oh, we shouldn't have done it and all that. But at that moment, they were totally covered by ignorance, delusion. They were not really thinking. They were just going along with everybody else, thinking that everything will be fine, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there is as a consequence of that work, what they did, there is the pain and sorrow, following.
Okay. I was thinking materialistic and monetary loss. That means I'm not trying to get anything from that. That's what I was kind of thinking actually. Right? So I'm not trying to get any materialistic or any monetary benefit out of that work. That's why I'm kind of.
Yeah. So one is doing the duty.
Yeah.
Okay. If we know what needs to be done, then irrespective of the result, doing it, that is sattvic.
Yeah.
Okay. But with ignorance doing it,
exactly the other way around. Yeah.
is a different thing.
Yeah. No.
I mean, if I am doing it as duty, even if it is like in this example, right? The cops who are in the building, they were doing their duty.
Yeah.
They know the consequences of that duty.
Yeah.
Right? There will be pain and suffering. Right? They were attacked and all that, but they were doing their duty.
With knowledge that.
They knew the consequences.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that every activity will lead to pain, sorrow, suffering and all that, but there is, if I am doing, like if I say run for 1 hour, right, what is going to follow? Obviously I'm going to have some pain in the legs and things like that, right? So if I don't even know and know the consequences and just to go, then what happens is that what follows is suddenly they will realize, oh my God, what happened? And there will be more pain because they haven't realized it. Exactly like all those people, they are going through, right? So so that anapeksha, like without without thinking, considering, analyzing. So anubandham, what is going to follow? Then kshayam is loss. Materialistic, or if I'm doing the work, I'm going to be tired, right? Mentally tired, physically tired. So there could be loss. If I'm like doing some business, and there could be loss. So without thinking all those things, just going and doing it, okay, is kind of, it's ignorance. Or thinking that there will be no consequences is delusion. Right?
So this tamasic and rajasic, right? They add karmic bondage to our life, right? If
Yes.
one keeps doing it. So my question is, if coming to my life, right? All my life I believed in God. I always pray to God and all that. But still, like if I look at my life, right? Say life before Gita, life after Gita. If I click, um, now even now if I do something, I try to do with that spruha, right? Okay, even though I always used to I used to think it's only God's grace I'm living, or God's grace it's happening, but still that spruha is different now than before, earlier. So I'm wondering, so all these years, right, even though I was a God believer and all, I was annoyed. I mean, without knowing, I was adding karmic bondage, right? I mean, even there are many instances where I was doing Rajasik, things. So like expecting result, or even teaching kids in the early stage, we do all that encouragement, showing something. Okay, if you do this, this will happen, or you will get this, or you'll gain this. So we knowingly I added so much karmic bondage, I think.
Yes. So your question is, am I going to face the consequences of
I
all
don't now, Varprasad Garu, that fear is completely gone now. I came to that stage thanks to this Gita knowledge. But I'm just saying, like, people who, they're all very, see, there are people who are very nice. They believe in God, they do all these things, good things. But still, if you don't have that spruha, you will be one will be adding the karmic bondage. That's what I'm just saying. It's not that I'm scared now today, what will happen, like, or whatever, because I'm not personally expecting anything now. Keep telling myself, yeah.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I mean, we see, even after having this knowledge also, it is very difficult to be completely sattvic.
Exactly, yeah.
So our vasanas will drive us, our tendencies, what we have, and the situation that we are in, that's going to drive us towards Rajasik or Tamasic, right? But having this knowledge will give us a chance to correct ourselves and move in the right direction.
Right. At least some. Yeah.
And so, go ahead.
Yeah, true. Like, yeah, I mean, we should have that, I forgot the right word, manastrupti, or, one should sleep good in the end of the day. That's what my motto. Like, when you sleep in the night, you should, if your mind is clear, whatever your day was clear, it won't leave you guilt in the end of the day. So
Yes,
it should be like, I feel.
Yeah, whatever is past, right? And if we, start applying these principles from now on, see, one thing is the knowledge of Gita is so great, and Lord Krishna is so generous. Is the right word, or
generous?
Forgiving. Yeah, he's so forgiving that if we really, I mean, at the time of our leaving this body, if we are focused on Paramatma, that's all matters. So if we, it doesn't mean that to do everything bad till the end of the life and then suddenly realize our mind will not be focused at that time. So if we let us say we start practicing from now on, we don't know how long our life is going to be in this body.
Right.
So there is a higher chance that we will be focused on Paramatma when we are leaving this body. And with that is equivalent to wiping out so much karmic bondage.
Yeah.
Again, it's all, it's not like our remembering of Paramatma at that moment is going to relieve us from karmic bondage. Again, that would be Rajasik thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Our duty is to remember him, whatever is the result he is going to give us. And what Lord Krishna said is, if you are remembering me at the time of leaving your body, I will give you moksha. Okay. So if we are saying Om and remembering Paramatma at the time of leaving this body, then we don't have to worry what we did in the past. So, and not only in this life, so many lives before us, before this body. So we will be fine. I mean, some people might have taken it as, if you accept, and I don't want to quote religions, but if you accept this religion and you repent what you did, now you are absolved of all the sins. From now on, you have no sins.
Mhm.
I mean, that's not the case here. That is kind of derived from this concept, right? If you think in one way, right? So whoever has come up with that is saying that if we really recognize what is true knowledge, and from now on, if I do things, I don't have to worry. I will not be carrying the baggage from the past life, whatever we did. So, which is similar. I mean, but the thing is that it is not like our sins will be wiped out just because we repented. Okay. So, what our scripture says that, I mean, exactly what is there in Bhagavad Gita is we start practicing this. And in the previous chapters, Lord Krishna said, at the time of leaving the body, if you are remembering me, then I will take care of right. I'll take care of you. So we don't have to worry how much karmic bondage was there before. So what papas, punyas we did, all that will be wiped out. But then we'll say, oh, if I'll start remembering at the end of life and in this body, then it may not be in our control at the time. So Paramatma said that if you think of me during when you are really doing well, you're healthy, your mental status is good. If you remember me, at that time, continuously, then when you are not able to do because of physical problems, physically, if it is not possible for you to remember me at the time of leaving the body, I am going to remember on your behalf, right? So again, Paramatma is the one who is enabling us to remember him also. We have to remember that. If I am remembering him, it is what Paramatma's blessings. That also we should not say, I am remembering you. It is not, we shouldn't associate that also with ourselves.
Yeah.
It is his blessings, we are able to remember him.
Right.
And so when I'm able to do, I'm the instrument right there. Now, when I'm not able to do by myself, still he will remember it for us. So then whatever karmic bondage is there, that will be completely wiped out.
Lot of stress, we get relief from stress. One who goes through Gita, I feel.
Yes.
What is going to happen? I mean, these things at least we can reduce to some extent. Like,
right.
So that's what I noticed in my personal life. So really helping. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. That's really good. So so without anaveksha, without thinking, analyzing, without considering anubandham, kshayam, himsa. Himsa. So the injury that follows, hurt that the work, the work causes to the performer. Then the next one is paurusham, like our ability, without thinking what is our ability, what is our competence to complete the work. Okay, without thinking any of it, without thinking of the consequences of that that work, then if we do the work, then that work is tamasic. I mean, what it really says is that we need to know exactly what that work is. That is where the knowledge comes into picture. So need to know what we are doing. This is my duty, and do the duty irrespective of the consequences. I mean, that is fine. I mean, but without really thinking or considering any of these that follow the work, that would be ignorance. And thinking otherwise, like, things will be great, I will jump from a aeroplane, and I'll be able to land on earth without any injuries. That is delusion, right? So people start doing activities without thinking of consequences, or the what is going to follow the work, any suffering, any loss, any of those consequences. That is delusion, ignorance. That is tamasic work. Okay. Oh. So 26, move on to 26. Let's look at 26. Mukta sango naham vadi.
Mukta
Sango
Sango
Nahamvadi
Dhrutyutsaha samanvitaha.
Dhrutyutsahasamannvitaha
Sahasamanvitaha
Siddhya siddhyor nirvikaraha.
Siddhya
Siddhya
Siddha
siddhyor
Siddhyo
nirvikaraha
Nirvikaraha
Karta satvika uchyate.
Karta
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 satvika
Satvika
uchyate.
Uchyate
Let's chant together.
Mukta
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 Sango
sango
Nahamvadi
vaham vadi
Dhrutyutsaha
Dhrutyutsahasamanvitaha
Dhrutyutsahasamannvitaha
Siddha
Siddha
Siddho
siddhyor nirvikaraha
Nirvikaraha
Karta.
Karta
Karta
satvika
Satvika
uchyate.
Uchyate.
So far we learned so 3 components of the work: knowledge, the work itself, and the worker. Those are the 3 components. We learned about sattvic, rajasic, tamasic knowledge, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic work, and now we are going to talk about sattvic, rajasic, tamasic worker. Okay, so and in this particular shloka, Lord Krishna is talking about sattvic worker, who is said to be sattvic worker. Okay, so directly we can correlate now. I mean, if I am doing any activity, am I sattvic when I'm doing that activity or not? Okay, so mukta sangaha, one who is free from attachment to the work or results. Just point blank is Lord Krishna is telling us. So who is called a sattvic worker? One who is working, who is free from attachment to the work or results. Mukta sangaha, anahamvadi. Okay, one who is free from thinking, I am doer, who does not boast oneself as an agent or doer. Okay, so that is anahamvadi. Dhrutyutsaha samanvitaha. Okay, dhruti, utsaha, samanvitaha. Dhruti means perseverance. Okay, I mean all these are explain. Dhruti is a simple one, one small word, but has big meaning, and it has a lot of synonyms that we can we can refer to for that word. So perseverance, basically able to bear all unavoidable sufferings while performing the work. Okay, determination, resolve, firm resolve. Courage is also, I mean, we are doing the work irrespective of the obstacles that we are facing. That is perseverance. Okay, we have firm resolve, determination, will to perform the work to its completion. That is called dhati. Okay. This again will come in the later. So Lord Krishna explained about the Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, Dhriti also. So Dhriti, Utsaha. Utsaha means, most of you may know, the enthusiasm, zeal about doing the work. Okay. So this is, I have the determination to do the work, and I am I have the enthusiasm, interest, in doing the work. Okay. Not talking about the results. So that is Dhriti, Utsaha, Samanvitaha. So I am endowed with, or one who is endowed with firm resolve and enthusiasm. Okay. So that is Sattvic worker. Nirvikaraha, Siddhya Siddhyoho. So one who is not moved by success or failure. Okay. Siddhi, Asiddhi. Siddhi means success. Asiddhi is failure. So one who is not affected by the success or failure is called Sattvic worker. Okay. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, let's look at a Rajasic worker or Rajasic actor, worker or actor, performer of the work. 27. Ragi karma phala prepsuhu.
Ragi karma phala prepsuhu.
Lubdho himsatmako suchihi.
Lubdho himsatmiko shuchihi.
Harsha sokanvita karta.
Harsha sokanvita karta.
Rajasah parikirtitaha.
Rajasah parikirtitaha.
Let's chant together. Ragi
karma phala prepsuhu. Labdo himsatmako
shuchihi.
Harsha sokanvitaha.
Rajasah
Rajasah parikirtitaha.
So Lord Krishna is explaining who is the one who is Rajasic worker. So Karta Rajasaha Parikirtita, who this worker is declared as Rajasic. Who is that worker? So Ragi. Ragi is one who is attracted to the prospect of the results, ambitious, eager to acquire fame, honor, power. Okay, so this Ragi is the one who is, who developed attachment, attraction towards the work, because the work is going to produce the result, right? So the prospect of the result is attracting. So right, then karma phala prepsuhu. Karma phala prepsuhu is one who is desiring the fruits of the work. So one is attachment, other one is desiring the fruits of the fruits of the work or results of the work. So one who is focused on getting a particular result, that is what is motivating that, and they are attracted towards the result is ragi, right? They have developed attachment to that work is ragi. Okay, so lubdhaha is who is unwilling to spend money needed for the work. This is greediness. Greediness is is a quality of a Rajasik person, right? So lubdhaha is the one, like, I want to do the work, but I am not willing to spend what is needed for doing that work. That is Rajasik. Okay, if I am willing to spend what is needed, then it is Sattvic. It is somehow misunderstood that if I even spend $2, it becomes, oh, you are now Rajasik. No. Now, whatever is needed for that activity, we have to spend. If it costs $1 million, spend $1 million. No, I mean, if it is needed, if that work requires us to spend $1 million, we should spend $1 million. It is not, show off or we are Rajasik there. No, we are not greedy. We are not. We are not focused on we are not driven by the fruits of those work to be associated with us. We need to do a work. Whatever is needed for that work, we need to spend. Okay, so if you're not doing that, then it's greediness. That is lubdhaha. We become Rajasik. Himsatmakaha. Okay, himsa, is violence, hurting, being. So one who is hurtful, one who is cruel, one who is violent, gets work done by hurting others. Is Rajasik worker. Okay, kind of taking shortcuts, right? I mean, if one is trying to take hurt, then the person is probably a person, or maybe it could be any other being as well. If we are hurting them, they will start doing it, doing the activities. It becomes Rajasik. Okay, Asuchihi, one who is impure, unholy, lacks purity needed for the given work. So whatever say work requires us to be prepared, in whatever way we need to be prepared. And if we are not prepared properly for that, then it is Rajasik. Okay. Then Harsha Soka Anvitaha. Harsha Soka Anvitaha. So one who is filled with Harsha is joy, and Soka is sorrow. So when will we feel joy is when we get the success, and when we feel sorrow is when we get the failure. So one who is filled with joy on success and sorrow on failure, that is Rajasik. A Sattvic person is doing the work without, these two, right? Unmoved by success and failure. In case of Rajasik, they are moved by success and failure. They're filled with joy when there is success, filled with sorrow when there is failure. So unfortunately, the only things that gives us happiness are success, right? When we get a successful result, then success is whatever we wanted, or whatever is giving us materialistic pleasures. That is what we wanted. That is success. So when that happens, we feel joy. That is how typically joy or happiness, And then when we don't get the success, or when we have failure, or when we have physical troubles, or anything opposite of that success, that's when we get the sorrow. We didn't get the desired result, we feel sorrow. So in order to be successful, in order to be happy, we need to have success. In order to have success, we need to define an expected result. And that's when we start doing the working. So almost everything that we have been doing so far is kind of Rajasik only. If we are doing this way, right? I want to, of course, Bhagavad Gita is not saying that you should not feel happy or something like that. We have to feel happy. That is a goal for anyone, everyone, right? All of us, the goal is happiness only. And even with Bhagavad Gita also, my goal is happiness only. But if my happiness is derived only based on the result, when the result is successful, then I'm Rajasik there. Okay. And that is going to acquire me karmic bondage. So then should we not, if we have to be sattvic worker, then we should not be moved by success or failure. Then are we not going to feel happy? We should not be feeling happy. That question may come, right? So then when will the sattvic worker be happy? Anyone?
All the time.
Yes. Perfect. That's what is, our happiness will never be gone. We'll always be happy. Because nobody can take that happiness away from me. Because failure is not going to take that happiness away from us. The prospect of failure is not going to take the happiness away from us. How much successful we are doesn't matter, so that our happiness is not going to change, even when it is success. So we are happy all the time, right? But unfortunately, because that's how we have been programmed, we don't even know that we are happy when we are doing sattvic, when we are sattvic. Because we are programmed to feel happy only when the result comes, right? Like somebody who is simply, have no problems in life. Okay, and just imagine no problems in life, just on their own. Then you ask them, are you happy? They say, oh, I'm so depressed. They don't know whether what is happiness. They don't know, because they think that some event should happen and that should give them happiness. Bhagavad Gita takes that totally from the equation. It is not event based. It is not success or failure based. Happiness is always constant, and it is to the maximum level. There is no such thing like I'm like 10% happy, 20% happy, 50% happy, nothing like that. I'm always happy 100%. But unless we know this knowledge, we don't feel that happiness within us. Once we start feeling happiness, then we realize, oh my God, that's when our the tube light will glow in our mind suddenly. I'm always happy. That's when people are focused on, so when we are not focused, not focused may not be the right word, but when we do the work irrespective of the result, and we are not moved by success or failure, our work is done as service to God, who we feel within us. Because when we are doing any work, he is the one who is supporting us. So we are focused inwards. We are always feeling happy that he is supporting us and we are doing his service, right? And everywhere around we see that he is supporting whatever is happening. So that joy fills up in our life. Like Paramatma is helping all of us. Okay. Like when rain comes, we feel joy. When everything is going to start filling us with joy. That we see Paramatma everywhere. We see Paramatma supporting everything. We see Paramatma supporting us every second. Okay, we feel that presence of Paramatma in us. We feel that I am Atma, Paramatma is supporting me. So then nothing, whatever transient things are happening are not going to disturb me at all. So then we are not moved by success or failure of the result. So Rajasik people, unfortunately, they fall in the trap. Okay, they're attached to the work. They're attracted to the prospect of the result. They have a desire, they have a desire for fruits of their work. I want to get this kind of result. I want to experience it. I want to enjoy it. And they are taking shortcuts in terms of not spending whatever is needed. Money or resources, we can even consider. Money is one type of resource, but they focus only on result. They are not focused on how much effort is needed. So they take shortcut there. They hurt others, because that's what they care is only the result that they need to get, and they want to enjoy that result. They hurt others. They don't care. They don't prepare themselves for doing the activity. That doesn't matter as long as they get the result. And then they get the result, be joyful or sorrow. Okay, they go in this cycle. That is Rajasik. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so we'll see who is tamasic in the next sloka. Sloka 28. Ayukta prakrutastabdhaha
Ayukta prakrutastaha
setho naikrutiko lasaha
Shato naikritiko lasaha
vishadi dirghasutri cha
Vishadi dirghasutri cha
Karta tamasamuchyate, tamasa uchyate.
Karta tamasa uchyate.
Let's chant together.
Ayukprakrtastabdhaha Jatho naikritiko lasaha Vishadi dirghasutri cha Karta tamasa uchyate.
So, who is tamasic worker? One who is ayuktaha. Ayuktaha is one who is unqualified, unfit, incompetent. Okay. So there are, two aspects of that. The worker has the ability or competency to perform the work, but it is not the duty. That work is not the duty. Okay. So then so I can do the work. Okay. So I have competence, I have the ability, but that is not my duty. So then I become unqualified or unfit to do the work. Not that I don't have the ability, but I have the I have the ability, but that's not supposed to be my work. Then that is the incompetency, or sorry, that is a unfit. So a worker who is doing a duty, doing some work that is not his duty. Okay. In short, or it is his duty, but it is the worker doesn't have the ability or competence.
I think this is where the yogyata and yukti comes into play, I think, right?
Yes.
I think Swami was explaining in one of his pravachananas.
Yes. Yeah.
What is the second word, sir? Yogyata and
Yukti.
yukti. Okay.
I mean, he was giving a good example of, say, even any job, you have a degree, but that is called, maybe yogyata, but you may not have yukti, like ability.
Ability.
Yeah. So he was explaining very well in that.
Yeah. So one who is incompetent to do the work, then prakritaha. Prakrita is who is unrefined. Okay. Unwise or uneducated, right? One who is not educated, one who is unrefined. So who is that? One who does not do anything else beyond taking care of bodily needs and survival. So I do everything for my body, right? So that's all I care about. I'm not wise enough to understand that I am beyond this body. I'm not this body. That I do not have that education, that I am not this body. Okay. I'm just doing everything for my body's sake only. Okay. So that is one. Uneducated and unrefined, unwise. So you can imagine those people, right? Stabdaha. Stabdaha is who is inert, indifferent, stubborn, not inclined to start the work. Okay. Then Setaha is who is wicked, perverted, evil, sinful, immoral. These are all related words, we can understand. So these are, tamasic workers. Naikruti kaha. So one who is dishonest, deceitful, insulting. Okay. Alasaha, who is lethargic, dull, lazy, negligent, careless, slow, right? These are all the things that we learned when we were learning about tamas as a quality, right? Vishadi, one who is, Vishadam is sorrow, right? So, no, Vishada is that follows the sorrow. Okay, Shoka is sorrow. Vishada is that dejection, depression, that feeling of excessive moodiness. So Vishadi is the one who is habitually, the word clear. I mean, we need to stress this word, because I mean, once in a while somebody may feel they're despondent, dejected, hopeless, gloomy, for a moment maybe it's fine. But you see people who are habitually, like, who are always in that mode, irrespective of whether something is bad going to happen to them or not, they're always, or even for small things, they get dragged down in that mood always. They're always hopeless, gloomy, moody and dejected. Either they feel they are in that mode of that sorrow. We kind of treat that as sorrow, but it is that follows the sorrow as well, goes on forever. And in that mode, they are either totally separated out from the, they don't want to mix with other people, or they shout and all those things. That it comes out as when somebody tries to meet with them, they kind of react negatively, shouting, harming others. So this Vishadi people and the Tamasic people belong to that category. They are hopeless, gloomy, excessively moody people. They go beyond Rajasik. Now, Rajasik people are joy and sorrowful, right? Now, these people go beyond that. They go into habitual dejection, depression mode, hopelessness. Okay. Dirgha Sutri. Dirgha Sutri is one who is harboring deep and long vengeance against others. How do I harm these people? The Dirgha Sutri. I mean, they're always thinking for a long time, how I can harm others. The Rajasik people are, they just hurt somebody, get the things done, they move on, maybe, right? But Tamasic people go beyond that. They plan out. They want to continually do these things, like harm others. They have deep vengeance. They want to take revenge on people and then harm them for a long time. That is Tamasic. Okay. So Tamasic workers are much more dangerous. Or one who becomes a Tamasic worker, you can imagine how much karmic bondage they may be acquiring. These workers may get the result also. No, I mean, this is something that we need to see, like Sattvic worker, Rajasic worker, Tamasic worker. Who gets the result? All three may get the result. Probably may get the same result. In a physics, I mean, for whatever work they are doing, it's not that Tamasic worker will not get the result. They will get the result. Okay. Rajasic workers also get the result. But unfortunately, they are acquiring so much karmic bondage while doing that activity. Okay, it's not like, oh, somebody's tamasic worker will never get the result. They may get the result. Now, somebody who is, let's say somebody's duty is not that, and they do that act, that work, they may get the result. It's not like they don't get the result. They may get the result, but it is not their duty. So they unfortunately get the karmic bondage. They are, for example, they're evil, or immoral. They may do the activity with no morals, right? Becoming evil, thinking for a long time on hurting others and hurting others. With that, they may, they may get the result, but they will be, they are considered tamasic, and we know what happens to tamasic people, right? They are developing the tamasic quality. So, any questions on this one?
So in terms of this, vengeance is I know it's a big thing, but so to what extent it is allowed, sir, in our daily lives? Like if somebody hurts you a lot, right? I know in terms of Bhagavad Gita, you shouldn't be thinking bad about them or, revenge or anything. But you should let them know, or teach a lesson, or to what extent, like we are are we even allowed to do anything to I know if like in past also you explained many times, it's not like we should apply our buddhi. It's not like you simply sit, if somebody is hitting you, it's not like that. But
Right.
otherwise, even indirectly, or even some people consciously they hurt you, right? Okay, with the help of Gita, we keep thinking, okay, they did this thing, their karma or their vasanas, they're hurting us. But are we even allowed to do anything? Okay, they should also, like, I don't want to use the big words like teaching lessons and all, or just completely ignore.
So again, it all boils down to what is our duty. I mean, always go back to that one. Basically, Bhagavad Gita says, do your duty, nothing else, right? And so what is our duty at that moment? I mean, depends, right? If it is a teacher teaching a student and the student is misbehaving, duty of the teacher is to discipline the student. Okay, then you do it as a duty. Okay, so, or somebody who is younger, engaged person is treating old age person in a bad way. Okay, and if it is our duty to correct at that moment, we do our duty. Okay, so it is not out of this person hurt me, so now I have to hurt that person back. If that is the equation, then it is totally tamasic. Okay, unfortunately, we fall in that one. I mean, the one person, if this person is shouted at me, and now I have to shout back. So then it is, then we are not doing what is right. So if if it is our duty to respond, not react, we provide a response. Okay, so if someone is physically hurting us or hurting someone, which is not needed, should not be done, then we have to take action, protect ourselves. Then if someone is not physically but psychologically hurting. Now that is where the Bhagavad Gita knowledge will help. If someone is shouting at us, and they most of the time it doesn't become our duty to correct that person. Okay, so we just ignore it. Because what is that we are going to do? Like if a person is tamasic, no matter how much we are going to explain to that person, they're not going to listen. So maybe we can tell once and then that's it. We will not be able to do anything beyond that. So the response actually depends on the situation. So we cannot generalize like no response at all, or we have to we have to take a lot of action. We will not be able to generalize. So look at the situation. If the person is not in a position to understand, then there's no point in trying to teach that person anything. Then we protect ourselves. If we have the duty to tell, then we tell and leave the result. So the person is not not taking our feedback, we shouldn't be again becoming angry and troubled by it and things like that, because unfortunately it's not in our hands. Certain things may be in our hands, but not always. When I say in our hands means maybe we are not doing the duty properly, right? So we have to do that duty properly. But once we do the duty properly, then the result we should not. So whether the person is getting that lesson or not is not our botheration.
Yeah, yes, I agree, sir. Like, sometimes, right, you really trust a person, right, fully. And I know we should not be attached to anybody or anything. But, they hurt you, right? They hurt you some way. Then I agree, we ignore. It's not our duty to teach them lesson.
No, first of all, the question of hurting us will be gone.
Yes. I mean, they hurt you. I mean, see, with the long association with someone or, something, if something bad happens to you, suddenly, even though you know so much of Gita or anything, suddenly for a moment you feel it, right? Oh, why is this happening? So, okay, then again come back to our this thing. Okay, whatever it happened, either there was something wrong with me or wrong with her. Let us forget about, ignore, or even we avoid that person. But so what is my thing? Like, should I stop trusting others? Because one experience happened which is bad in my life. Same kind of trust, I'll stop putting in others, right? I mean, this is what happened. Then next time onwards I have to be very careful. It's kind of detached. I know it is we need detached attachment, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what to. We cannot do. So second time we cannot trust anybody, thinking that okay, this is what happened in our life. Losing trust on human or anybody, anything, thinking that okay, this is what life it, just move on.
I mean, the trust was because we were ignorant.
Yeah, possible.
Okay, possible. So then we were, that we had this ignorance is one of the tamasic quality, right? So we develop our knowledge in such a way that we will be able to fix that for the future. That's fine.
Yeah, possible. I don't know. I mean, especially with the friends, first thing I feel one should have a trust, one, develop trust and when we lose that, then that's I don't know. I don't see a meaning between two. I mean, a relationship, any relationship, if you don't trust each other. So, but just I'm generally, yeah, that's okay. Sorry, we don't.
Yeah, I mean, it is difficult to generalize. Basically, the bottom line is that what is our duty?
Mm,
Okay, so if our duty is to love the person irrespective of what result we are going to get,
mm,
so just don't think that, oh my God, this person I trusted and they harmed me. That question will not even arise.
mm,
Okay, if our duty is to support that person, no matter what we are supporting. Okay,
mm,
so the second is, if our duty is to tell good to that person, then we tell what is good. If the person doesn't listen, not our problem.
mm,
Okay, so then we will be it's not like we will be um, uh, what is that, have no emotions, we don't support, or we'll run away from that person. No, we will actually do our duty of supporting that person. But if let us say somebody is cheating us, somebody is we trusted that person and they somehow harmed us, that would be a learning for us. Then we don't get into a situation where we will be troubled in that sense. So there's
mm,
nothing wrong. So bottom line is our duty, our responsibility, and no matter what, we have to do our duty. Whether it is giving positive result, negative result, doesn't matter.
mm,
So then we have no hard feelings.
mm,
Like if somebody I supported this person, they cheated me, that will not even come into picture. I did when I supported, I did my duty. Then
mm,
whatever happens later is not my problem. The
mm,
result is not like a person did not show that respect back towards me, or did not treat me or is going to treat me well because I supported that person. That is the kind of expectation that we develop. That should
mm,
not be there. No expectations. If it is my duty, if it is our duty, just do it.
mm,
And if there was some lack of knowledge in that process, then develop the knowledge. That's
mm,
all. So I know it is easy to say, right? Then do the practice. But the Bhagavad Gita teaches us exactly the same. Just not be moved by success or failure. That means not be moved by either praise that we are getting or the criticism that we are getting, or whether there is a you know we trusted that person. That is the expectation. Now that expectation is broken, is a failure. Not moved by that. So all that is given in Bhagavad Gita. So if we just do our duty with no attachment, that's exactly what Lord Krishna was saying in the Sattvic worker, right? So if we do our duty without any attachment, then it will not, our happiness will not be disturbed by it, by whatever happens after we do the duty. Okay, doing the duty is a generic term. Like, we need to know what knowledge is needed for doing the duty. If you don't if you don't analyze it properly, and then simply doing it is not going to give us, is obviously Rajasik or Tamasic. So we have to know exactly what we are doing, then do the duty. Then that's it. It's over. Our task is done. Whatever is the result, we just take it.
yeah.
And so we should not be saying that, oh, the result is this, and let me not do my duty. That should not be you should not run away from that duty.
No, it's not that I run away from the duty, but if I had that kind of experience, right? Yeah, I should be more careful in the next relation or next thing or next whatever karma I'm doing. But I don't see the authenticity, like, especially friendship, or like you are always thinking of this,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
if I understood correctly, the
Mm.
the situation is that we are doing something with some expectation in mind that should be gone. That expectation should be removed.
Mm.
That's exactly what the sattvic is. So we just focus on doing the duty, and that's it. I mean, then we will not be getting into this hurt feeling, or like troubles and all that. The only thing that we need to see is that, did I do my duty properly? If I did my duty properly, no matter what the result is, I I don't have to feel sorry, bad, hurtful, and all that.
Mm.
If I didn't, if let's say some result came, and then I realized that I did not do my duty properly, then I fix my duty.
Mm.
Maybe I didn't have complete knowledge, or I didn't put enough effort. So that's all we need to worry about. If I because the result is not in our hands, so the person or the things that are involved in that work, it could be relationship, it could be work, whatever it is totally not in our hands. So as long as we do our duty, then I mean, if it is not letting us do our duty further, then our duty is to come out of it. So I'm a little bit cryptic here, but without going into all the details. So if I need to do my duty properly, there are certain duties I need to do, but because of some situation, or I'm not able to do my duties, then I need to take action so that I should be able to perform my duties properly. So, but not out of vengeance, not out of causing harm to others, not because I'm hurt, not because I'm, they did not show respect back to me, or I did not get the proper result. Not because of all that, but if I'm not able to do my duties properly, it is hurting me, because that is what is hurting me, because I'm not able to do my duties properly. Then I need to take action so that I can continue to do my duties. As long as we are able to do our duties, then things happen in life, then we just keep moving on.
Yeah, agree. Thank you, sir.
Did we cover the whole thing? Yeah, Dirgha Sutri. Yeah, so it's completed. 29. We move on to Sloka 29. Sorry. Buddhirbhedam dhruteshchaiva
बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव
गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु
गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु
प्रोच्यमानमशेषेण
प्रोच्यमानमशेषेण
पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय.
पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय.
Let's chant together.
बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतस्त्रिविधं शृणु प्रोच्यमानमशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय.
So far, I mean, just a small recap of all the classifications that Lord Krishna had provided, given to us. The classification according to Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas Gunas, right? So he talked about Shraddha or worship, okay? Sattvic worship, Rajasic worship, and Tamasic worship. Food, Sattvic food, Rajasic, Tamasic food. Yajna, Tapas, Dana. So all these are in 17th chapter. He classified them Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Okay, and in 18th chapter we covered so far Tyaga or Sannyasa. They are used as synonyms. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Knowledge, work, and worker or actor. Okay, so these are all the things that we covered so far. Now, Lord Krishna is saying in this sloka, he's saying, "O Dhananjaya, okay, Shrunu, listen to what Trividham Bhedam, the threefold classification or division of Buddhehe and Dhrutehe. Okay, Buddhi is intellect. Okay, so this is typically we get confused, Buddhi, Jnanam, and all that. So we need to be clear, right? Buddhi is intellect, that is the reasoning and judgment faculty. Like I'm able to discriminate, I'm able to determine, I'm able to reason and take a judgment, give a judge on something. Okay, I'm able to decide. So that is because of intellect, my intellect. That is Buddhi. Okay, so we grab, whatever information that senses give to us. Okay, that manas, the mind, we loosely translated to mind. The mind processes that inputs, and Buddhi is the one which is applying its understanding, reasoning, judgment faculty, judgment abilities, and will give the action. Okay, this is what I need to do. Okay, so that is Buddhi. And Dhruti is perseverance. We talked about that. Determination, will, firm resolve to pursue despite difficulties or setbacks. This is most important. So Dhruti is that determination. So Lord Krishna is now going to give us the threefold classification of Buddhi and Dhruti. So of intellect and perseverance. Okay. And he's saying according to Gunataha, according to the gunas, according to Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas gunas, is saying that Prochamanam Aseshena Pruddhatvena. So they're described, these Buddhi and Dhruti classification is described Aseshena completely and Pruddhatvena distinctly, separately, clearly. So he's going to describe to us this the threefold classification of Buddhi and Dhruti. Let us see that. Any questions on Buddhi and Dhruti definition? One is intellect and other one is perseverance.
Can you explain Dhruti little more, sir?
So it is our, so basically Buddhi will tell us, okay, this is what you need to do, right? So, and then what will drive us to do that activity to its completion? That is dhriti. Okay. So when we are doing that activity, we may have difficulties, we may have setbacks, we may, have hardships, and, or things are not working out as we expected, whatever it is the situation, right? So we continue to move forward. That determination, firm resolve to move forward is called dhriti. That is perseverance. So if you don't have the determination, right, then people simply drop out.
So dhruti can be for both negative karma, positive karma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, whatever work we are doing, like somebody wants to really destroy something which is really bad, let us say, and they may have determination, perseverance to go ahead and do that and destroy, the democracy of US, whatever it is. So yeah, they may have determination, but it is determination to hurt others or do something bad to oneself or to others. It could be anything.
Okay.
So but that perseverance is that determination to proceed, determination to do that activity, and no matter what the setbacks are, no matter how many difficulties we are facing. That is dhriti.
Okay.
Okay, so Lord Krishna is going to classify both buddhi and dhriti in the next few slokas. So we'll talk about buddhi first. Sloka 30. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha
Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha
karya karye bhaya bhaye
karya karye bhaya bhaye
bandham moksham cha ya vetti
bandham moksham cha ya veti
buddhissa partha satviki.
buddhissa partha satviki.
Let's chant together. Pravrittim cha
Pravrittim cha
nivrittim
nivrittim cha
karya
karya karye bhaya bhaye
bandham
moksham cha ya veti
buddhissa
buddhissa partha satviki.
So now Lord Krishna is explaining the threefold classification of buddhi, and in this sloka is talking about what buddhi or intellect is characterized as sattvic. Okay, so he's saying, Partha or Arjuna, so he's saying, Partha, ya veti buddhihi, that buddhi, which is, okay, which discerns, which tells us, which makes us know, right? That is what I mean. That buddhi is giving us the ability to discern, right? The ability to determine something, ability to discriminate something. So that buddhi, which is making us discriminate, what, right? So he is, Lord Krishna is giving pravrittim cha nivrittim cha, pravritti and nivritti. Okay, so there are, again, this is where some interpretations differ. Okay, what we are talking here is about buddhi that drives us and for a particular action, right? So the pravritti is the means for they are the means for worldly prosperity. Okay, nivrutti is the means for liberation. Okay, so the discriminating ability or the judgment faculty that we have, okay, that which determines our actions and how we act. Okay, so that buddhi is sattvic when we judge correctly these two, the pravritti and nivritti. What is the means for obtaining the worldly prosperity and heaven after leaving this body? This one. I mean, worldly, this is all about our, we want to experience this world, in a better way. And, gaining more worldly prosperity, going to heaven and enjoying there, and then coming back again, experiencing the prosperity here. So that is one, that is pravritti. And what exactly are the means for obtaining liberation or deliverance from samsara, the cycle of births and births in various bodies? So the buddhi that gives us that discriminating ability, what is the means for one, which is worldly prosperity, and what is the means for the other, which is the liberation? Okay, so that is sattvic buddhi. Okay, so for that we have to know first these two are different. Okay, so if you don't even know, then and obviously you can't even discriminate. So one is, oh, this is different, worldly prosperity is different from gaining liberation. So now what is that what are the means for getting this worldly prosperity? What are the means for obtaining liberation? So if my buddhi is able to discriminate these two clearly, then it is sattvic buddhi. Okay. Then karya, akarya. So karya, karye. So what needs to be done and what may not be avoided. Sorry, may need to be avoided. Okay. This
is worldly prosperity is like in Telugu prapancha jnanam, sir, or something else?
no, not jnanam. Prosperity is wealth.
Okay.
So worldly prosperity is, don't consider like only money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Worldly prosperities are, of course, money and all the physical properties and all that. That is one. So second is our health, right?
Yeah.
Then relationships.
Everything is
Our materialistic, though, and all the resources that give us the materialistic
wealth.
pleasures, that is all clubbed together as worldly prosperity.
Okay.
So what makes me better, you just say, like, what makes me better in this life? Like I'm only I'm what are the means for getting the worldly pleasures, worldly prosperity, worldly, better everything in this world?
Okay.
Okay, what are the means for going to heaven? Some people consider that as the next step, right? Oh, I need to do all these things to go to heaven, not the liberation.
Yeah.
So liberation is separated from the worldly prosperity and the heaven. Okay, so these
different goals.
yeah. So if I want to experience the artha dhardi, right? Those two are they're focused on worldly prosperity.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Then Jnani is focused on liberation.
Liberation, yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so what are the means? And like if I look at something and then say, okay, I'm able to say that, okay, this is the means for worldly prosperity. This is the means for liberation. My buddhi is sattvic. I'm able to discriminate. No, yeah, if I tell you 10 things, if I'm able to tell exactly, okay, this is for worldly prosperity, this is for liberation, then my buddhi is sattvic. You got it?
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
I mean, with if I have very good knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and supporting scriptures, Bhagavad Gita is summary. So if we have, with Acharya's grace, if we get that knowledge, then we will be able to tell very clearly whether this is for,
Yeah.
my materialistic pleasures, worldly prosperity, whatever I'm doing, or this is for my liberation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Clear. Thank you.
Karya, what needs to be done, what may be avoided, what should not be done. I think I made a mistake here. What may be avoided at any given place, time, and situation. So, I mean, depending on Desha Kala Avastha, right?
Yeah.
So, Desha Kala Avastha. So basically, we have to, we know exactly what needs to be done at what time, right? Or what place, what time, what situation. Then it is sattvic. And what needs to be done in order to get, like that is a means for either worldly prosperity or liberation, right? Of course, any activity is either for the worldly prosperity or liberation. If you just like very high level. So now, so in order for that, I mean, for getting there, for that is the goal, right? And I know what needs to be done to get to that goal. In each of those cases, I know exactly what I need to do for liberation. And I know exactly what I should not be doing for liberation. Then it is that buddhi is sattvic. Okay. Bhaya bhaye. So what causes fear? Bhaya is fear, right? So fear and no fear. So, or that which removes fear. So what causes fear and what removes fear is sattvic. Okay. So typically, what is the fear that?
I mean, Buddhi telling you, if you have a right intellect, it will tell you what causes fear and what not. That is the sattvic nature of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, typically the fear that we have is fear of failure, fear of sickness, fear of death, fear of loss, some material property, whatever it is. So fear of criticism, fear of blame, fear of, again, I think failure is covered. So we have that fear, right?
But when sorry to interrupt you, sir. So when you're keeping up, when you want to keep up some relations, right? Relationships, I mean, you don't want to lose somebody or lose something. So for that, if you are trying something, that is that a selfishness or a bad intellect?
You don't do it out of fear. You are doing it out of duty.
Like,
I mean, I think that's
we have to do certain things for others' sake. I mean, compromise.
It is out of duty you're doing.
Okay.
Not out of fear that you may lose the relationship. So that is exactly our buddhi should tell us now.
Okay.
There is only one fear. That is not following scriptures. I'm not able to do my duty.
Okay.
Okay. And what removes fear? is following scriptures. All other fears are not even fears, should not be fears.
Even if it makes you alone in the world, like,
Why would it make alone? Yeah, it does. If it, I mean, if it is our duty to go and help people, why would it make us alone, for example? So if nobody is saying that I should sit in my house, I can go to for food kitchen and do some service there.
From that perspective, really, Paramatma is the only relationship that is true in nature.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it may sound harsh for common people. That doesn't mean that, we're not going to value relationships or anything like that. So to understand this knowledge and practice it, some level of dispassion is required.
Yeah. Yes.
Without that, it's very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, all the relationships that we have, I mean, bodily relations, are only for this body. And we are different from the body. So, yeah, I mean, as Balaji said, it sounds harsh, but that's the truth, reality. The reality is body is not us. So we have duties because we are born in this body. We should not be running away from that. We have to do them. We have to experience whatever we are, we cannot run away from those experiences also. Because those experiences are, the karmic bondage that is given to us, we need to experience. Okay. So, but that is not our ultimate goal. Should not be our ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Got it? I mean, our ultimate goal should not be a particular relationship. Okay. So if a relationship is helping us in doing our duties properly, fine. If it is not helping, then, we do whatever is our duty. So the fear of losing like every other fear of fear that we know of should not be the fear. What we should be fearful of is not following scriptures, not doing our duty. Okay.
Yeah, so
So
that is
if my buddhi
actually,
is,
sorry,
go ahead. Yeah.
No, so no, what Prasad is explaining, and I read somewhere, Vivekananda also exactly said the same thing. See, the purpose of Vedanta or spirituality is everybody in this world has some fear there or the other. For example, rich may have the fear they may lose the money. Poor has the fear that they may not have the money, and so on and so forth. So this knowledge essentially actually makes us so strong that we should apply common sense. Nobody is saying, you don't be tactical and unnecessarily bring headaches for you, right? That's totally to be avoided by any means. We don't move away, but fear factor goes away once you really understand Paramatma's nature and our true nature. That's the only way it goes away.
So only fear is allowed is losing God. We shouldn't lose the God, right? Or belief in God.
We don't do it out of fear. We do it out of knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah. It's not fear. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's right. I mean, to be quite honest, Karl Marx said the same thing, right? Karl Marx said, all the relationships in this world are economic in nature.
Yeah.
Probably you read that he wrote this Capital, Das Capital, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, he's an intellect. I mean, he may not probably have gone in this path and so on and so forth. But those type of people also have some level of, intuition and those things. But so, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks.
Good point. Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, this is this is one way that Bhagavad Gita is going to help us in defining what is happiness, telling us the truth. I mean, telling us what is real happiness. So far, whatever we have been thinking of happiness is coming from outside, is an illusion, is incorrect. I mean, not illusion, not even, I mean, it's incorrect knowledge. Okay. So happiness comes from within. Happiness comes from focusing on ourselves, that is Atma and Paramatma. Okay. So then if we are going to be there forever, right? There's no fear. And the fear is that we are not able to go closer to Paramatma, should be the fear. And if we are not able to go closer to Paramatma, means we are not able to follow the scriptures. If we are not following the scriptures, we become tamasic, right? If we are totally ignorant of scriptures, we don't know what is my duty, do all the things which are evil, which are totally against the principles that are given in the scriptures, then that is tamasic. Or doing everything, thinking I am doing it, this is for me, I need to enjoy, this is for, the whole worldly things are for me to enjoy. I may believe in God in that case, but I'm just totally selfish from a body perspective. That is making me Rajasik, and again that will take me away from Paramatma. That should be the fear. If I'm following the scriptures, I become sattvic, and I'm going closer and closer to Paramatma. Everything else is, so then it removes all the fears. So if I'm able to do my duty properly, then there should not be any fear.
The next thing probably close, I feel, is satsang. See, satsang, is such a divine thing that happens out of love and compassion, right? There is nobody compelling us to do anything. That's why satsang is so important for us to elevate ourselves.
Yes, and yeah. Okay, and so the intellect that determines or gives us the discriminating ability to understand bandham and moksham, the nature of bondage, and moksham is the nature of liberation. Okay, what is that which binds us to the samsara? What is that which releases from the samsara? Samsara is this, forced birth, cycle of births in this materialistic world. So it gives us the discriminating ability to understand bandham and moksham. So that is sattvic. Okay. Look at Rajasik 31. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha
Yaya dharmam adharmam cha
karyam cha karyameva cha
karyam cha karyameva cha
ayathavat prajanati
ayathavat prajanati
buddhissa partha rajasi.
Buddhista
partha rajasi.
Let's chant together. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha
karyam karyameva cha
ayathavat prajanati
prajanati
buddhissa
issa
partha
partha
rajasi.
rajasi.
Lord Krishna is explaining which intellect, the intellect which is called as Rajasik, or which is characterized as Rajasik in this sloka. So, so what is that? So he's saying, Yaya Prajanati, that which gives us understanding, or one understands by this buddhi, what? He's giving dharmam, adharmam, karyam, akaryam. Okay, so ayathavat is incorrectly, erroneously. So the buddhi that gives one understanding incorrectly of dharma and adharma. Okay, one understands inaccurately dharma and adharma, and dharma is the duty at a very high level. Just one word translation for dharma is duty that we need to do. And so everyone has, it's not like everyone has the same dharma. No, all of us have different duties, we need to perform, and different duties at different situations, different times in life. So it is all depending on the varnashrama, we get our duties. So varna is the stage, our role in the society, right? And ashrama is our stage in our lifetime. So depending on that, our dharma follows. So everyone has their own dharma, that is swadharma. That explicitly, if you want to call it, it is swadharma is our dharma, what we need to do. So swadharma is different for each individual. So so that which that buddhi, using which one understands inaccurately dharma and adharma. Okay, so I don't understand what is my dharma and what is adharma accurately, and karyam and akaryam. This should have been akaryam. So karyam is work that should be done, and akaryam is work that should not be done. If I'm not able to accurately understand it, then it is Rajasik.
Even the qualities described in Satvik, this Rajasic person won't have, right? I mean, that Buddhi to understand the fear.
Yeah, they will have fear.
Mm.
See, basically, they may think that it is my duty when it is not supposed to.
Mm.
Right? So it causes them some kind of fear again.
Mm.
Or work that should be done, that should not be done. If they do it, then it causes some kind of problem. So this buddhi is not driving them properly. Like if you see this, if a buddhi tells us very clearly what is dharma and what should be done, then there won't be any issue, right? There will not be any fear, unnecessary fear, right? At all, because we are doing our duty and we know what should be done, and we do it accordingly, right? Of course, doing according, this is only buddhi, right? So buddhi is telling us the discriminating ability, determining ability. Actually, whether we are doing it or not is depending on other things, right? But at least it is telling us Okay, this is your duty. Do it. Hey, this is not your duty. Don't do it. That is sattvic. Now, if it is Rajasik, then we are inaccurate in that determination. So something that is not our duty, we think it is our duty. So we get in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. Something that should not be done, we do it. Or something that should be done, we don't do it. We get in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is Rajasik. So I mean, so Arjuna example, if Arjuna is he didn't want to fight, right? Fighting in that war was his duty, and he didn't want to do it because of some other, he had some reasons, right? He didn't want to hurt his elders and cousins and things like that, which is inaccurately, erroneously telling him not to do it, not to do his duty. So in a way, that Rajasik was his intelligence was that his buddhi was Rajasik at that time. Okay.
Yeah.
Like this is inaccurately, erroneously, mixing the two. I mean, the duty. I'll think this is my duty, but it is not. Or I think this is not my duty, even though it is my duty. Something like that. Okay. So Arjuna was thinking that it is not his duty to fight, even though it was his duty. Or the work should be done is fighting in that war, but he wants to run away. So so he's not clear. It is inaccurately that buddhi was telling him inaccurately what to be done, what should not be done. Okay. Tamasic is much more different. Okay, so sloka 32. Adharmam dharmamitiya.
Adharmam dharmamitiya.
Manyate tamasavruta.
Manyate tamasavrata.
Sarvardhan viparitamscha.
Sarvardhan viparitamscha.
Buddhissa partha tamasi.
Buddhista partha tamasi.
Let's chant together. Adharmam
Adharmam
dharmamitiya.
dharmamitiya.
Manyate
Manyate tamasavrata.
tamasavrata.
Sarvardhan
Sarvardhan
viparitamscha.
viparitamscha. Buddhissa
Buddhista partha
parthatamasi.
tamasi.
In this sloka, Lord Krishna is explaining the intellect which is characterized as tamasic. Dhihi tamasi. Okay, so he's saying Partha, Arjuna. So ya buddhi. So that is that buddhi. Which buddhi? That is tamasa avruta. So that is covered by ignorance. The buddhi got covered by ignorance, or enwrapped by ignorance, by delusion. Okay, tamasa is by ignorance or delusion. Avruta is covered. Manyate is, so that buddhi is covered by ignorance. So one considers manyate, one considers or regards adharmam dharmam, adharmam as dharmam, adharmam dharmamiti. So this is like much more dangerous. So they will think that whatever is adharmam is their dharmam, and dharmam is adharmam. Okay, so total opposite. Like they will start doing the adharmam things, even though it is adharmam. Okay. And then sarvarthan viparitan. So they will understand, they will again manyate, they will consider sarvardhan viparitan. So all things, matter, subjects as opposite of what they are. So they are not able to see the reality, truth. They exactly understand opposite. Okay, viparitan, it's like opposite of what they are. So if someone is truthful, for example, they will see them as deceitful. Someone is really helping, they will see them as cheat, or not helping, so these people, the tamasic, those who have tamasic buddhi, okay, that buddhi tells them the opposite of what the reality is. So if you do these things, you will if you, let us say, if you learn Bhagavad Gita and follow the scriptures, it will be good for you. Then they will totally say no. They will say the opposite. This is not good for me. Okay, whatever is being told in this is not correct. Okay, that's what their buddhi will start telling. Or somebody is following the Bhagavad Gita principle. Okay, they will think that this person is not following the Bhagavad Gita principle. Okay, someone is telling the truth, they will think that they are telling lies. So this buddhi is telling exactly the opposite of what that really is. When they see other people, all. So, just a context, let us say vaccines are good. Tamasic intellectuals tell them vaccines are not good. They are doing something to my body and all that, even though that was not the intention. Of course, people make mistakes, but it was not their intention to just take over everyone's body with some kind of gene therapy and all that. So these people, tamasic intellect people, go beyond. They'll understand, they'll think something. What is, oh my God, this vaccine is now going to take over, government is going to control my body. That's a tamasic intellect. Okay. So basically they see things as totally opposite of what they are. They think when it comes to work or duty, they think adharma as dharma and dharma as adharma, and they do the opposite. And when somebody is trying to tell them, they will respond back saying that, accordingly. Like if a person is not following dharma, okay, and they are doing adharma, another person goes and tells that person saying you are doing adharma, they will they will not take it, because their intellect will tell them that you are wrong. Whoever is telling that it is they are supposed to change is wrong. They have some other motive. They have whatever, maybe their intellect will tell them whatever it needs to tell them, but basically they will see things opposite, they will not do those. So they will not follow scriptures. They will not follow, dharma. They will not follow, whatever good principles that are given in Bhagavad Gita. They'll not be able to understand. So this intellect will basically completely cover them with ignorance, delusion. I mean, not intellect. When intellect is covered with ignorance and delusion, then it is called tamasic intellect, and it will drive them accordingly, because that intellect is the one that is giving them the determining ability or discriminating ability, decision making, judgment ability, reasoning ability. All that will be totally opposite of what it should be. And people do evil things because they think they are doing the right thing. They will do evil. They will hurt other people. They think that they are doing the right thing, but they are in fact hurting other people. So it is, whatever we saw as the tamasic worker is driven out of the tamasic intellect with the tamasic knowledge, right? So all are related. Any questions on this one?
Not this, sir. I mean, in general, if this session is over, I just wanted to ask, I keep forgetting,
Sure.
like when Krishna did this bodha to Arjuna, right? I understand, like it was maybe a 15 minutes, or he froze the time. Well, that's not a problem. But Vyasa, when he was writing, I don't think Krishna has said, okay, he was doing this bodha saying that, okay, I'm doing karma yogam now, then jnana yoga. Nothing like that, right? I think this is Vyasa who has divided these things into like this. I mean, chapters.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
not chapters. I know if somebody writes a book, obviously they do that. But Krishna might have told the first thing maybe in the last, or last thing maybe in the first. But is a Vyasa was the one who organized this into, okay,
No.
all these things come under karma yogam and all that, like that?
No. Vyasa did not change the order.
Oh, okay.
So Vyasa wrote exactly as it happened. I mean, as it was said. So Sanjaya said exactly in the same order that Krishna said, and Vyasa documented it for us.
So Krishna basically was saying, like, this is karma yogam, this is
No, he didn't say one chapter started, another chapter ended.
not
He
the
didn't say
chapter.
that.
At least did he distinguish, like, okay, this is called karma yogam,
No.
this is called, okay, bhakti yogam?
No, he didn't.
Okay, sir. That's a small question I had all the time. I keep forgetting.
No, I mean, if you see second chapter, he covered almost the entire thing, Bhagavad Gita, in second chapter itself. But at a very high level, not touched on all these things. Then he went into karma yoga concepts, but he didn't say this is karma yoga. Now I'm going to explain to you karma yoga. Now I'm going to explain to jnana yoga. And he didn't. He is not doing that. I mean, that's why, it is spread across. Like now, some of these concepts in 18th chapter are related to karma yoga. So if he was saying that now I am explaining to you karma yoga, then all this should have been told at that place, right? So it is a conversation, and it was not like Krishna had prepared slides and then started going through chapter by chapter, or means by means. No, it was based on his conversation with Arjuna. Whatever questions he was asking, he was explaining. Of course, he covered all the knowledge that he wanted to give at that moment. So
same sequence, basically Krishna. I mean, Vyasa followed the same. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Exactly as it was told. This is to the dot, like every letter has been told.
Okay.
It's nothing was Sanjaya's input or Vyasa's input.
Okay. Okay.
This is Bhagavan Uvach, Bhagavan Gita. So, so as he said, Sanjaya repeated. I mean, not only he, whatever Arjuna said also. So that situation, whatever was said, was exactly documented.
Okay. Okay.
And it was a conversation, so nothing was like planned or something like that. Nothing was planned in the sense that, okay, now I have, like if I'm doing a management presentation, right? There are 4 yogas I want to present. Then I will have 4 sections, and then 4 4 15 minutes each, and then I'm done. I will not go from one to another like that, and then so but here it was a conversation, more like conversation.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. At 7:35. That's good. Thank you so much. Any other questions before we conclude? Next week we will start the Dhruti, the perseverance, determination, will to perform the activities. Okay. Let's conclude with the concluding prayer. Kayena vacha manasendriye va buddhyatmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yat
sakalam parasmai Narayanaayeti samarpayami Srimanarayanaayeti samarpayami
Sarvam Shri
Sarvam Shri
Krishna
Krishnarpanamastu
Om
Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha
Jai Srimanarayana.
Jai Srimanarayana. Thank you so
Jai
much.
Srimanarayana, everyone. Thank
Jai
you.
Srimanarayana.